Let's get ready to iRace. Hi, and thanks for joining us for round 4 of the Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge. We race today at one of the most iconic circuits in Formula 1, Silverstone, located at a former airfield in the United Kingdom, featuring fierce direction changes, massive braking zones, and a wicked combination of high and low speed corners. There will be no respite for the drivers today as the championship pressure is relentless and the stakes grow even more costly. To get us underway today, please give a big welcome to your commentator, Chris Stevens.
Welcome to the home of British Motorsport. We are at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit for the 4th round of the Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge. My name is Chris Stevens and I'll be your lead commentator this evening. Tonight I've got a special guest joining me in the commentary booth live from the cockpit. It's Richard Spanners Redding.
Hey Chris, how's it going? Yes, a unique challenge to talk to you and offer you some insight whilst driving around and competing in this round. Of course, Chris, Catman Turner normally keeps company unavailable this week.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have him back at the next round. But I'm looking forward to having you alongside me in the commentary booth and giving us some great insights from inside the cockpit. And we can currently see the championship leader, Danny Henney, on track and is indeed at the top of the timings of this session. He's actually just coming up to pass you, Spanners.
Yeah, Danny Henney, of course, one of the strongest competitors in the field, and he's been working with quite a few of the field over the week. He just enjoys teaching people. He gets a lot of satisfaction about improving people's lap times, and it's very frustrating as about 5 of the midfield guys have overtaken me.
Well, hopefully you can catch them back up at some point. Tim Ellis has really come on strong as well. Obviously, our most recent race winner, that fantastic last lap pass that he made for the lead at the last round at Suzuka. And speaking of which, we can actually bring you up to speed with how we've gotten to this point in the championship so far with a little catch-up. Season 2 of the Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge kicked off at the Nürburgring, where Danny Henney and Alexander Dobesberger brawled for the lead in race 1. Dobesberger fancies another run at him into the chicane, and this could be Dobesberger's one opportunity to take the lead of the race, and Henney has to let him through. Here comes Alexander Dobesberger to win his 2nd Formula Renault Challenge race. Henney would redeem himself in race 2 as he came through the field to win in the first of the 2 reverse grid races. Here comes Danny Henney to take his first victory of the season. Basso in 2nd, and James Wingfield is just gonna sneak over the line in 3rd place. Reigning champion David Hatton took the final honours of the night, sending out a statement that he would not be relinquishing his title easily. Maybe he isn't the absolute fastest guy in the field, but he knows how to put in a damn good lap time and how to navigate the field safely. And here he comes to take his first victory of the season. Hatton was true to his word, as 3 podium finishes at Imola earned him the championship lead, while Henney, after a strong victory in race 1, faced a difficult evening. They go into the Variante Alta for the final time. Danny Henney is making his way out of Rivazza corner for the final time and comes across the line to take his 2nd victory of the season. And David Hatton will come across the line in 2nd place with Tim Ellis in 3rd place. It's underway and Dobesberger leads the field away. And Ismail Basso settling there into 2nd place.
Comes Hatton to the outside of the first chicane.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to make it around the outside. It's going to be all on the brakes. If he can make it work, he can! Fantastic manoeuvre from David Hatton. Meanwhile, Alexander Dobesberger comes across the line and takes the victory in race 2 from pole position. Dobesberger's race 2 win kept him in the title hunt. We are away for the start of race 3. But all eyes were on Stephen Williams as he battled his way to a maiden victory in race 3. As they come back towards the Villeneuve chicane, he's been able to hold on for now. There's John Lang and Stephen Williams side by side. Lang got ahead, and now Williams coming back at him on the outside of Tosa. And Lang getting a little squeeze there, I think, as he got very, very close to the back of Alex Drillsman's car. And once again, Williams has got the run to draw alongside. And is he going to try and make it round the outside of Piratella? No way through. Cuts back inside again, and he has drawn alongside. Is he going to be able to draw clear at Aqua Minerale? Yes, he is! Stephen Williams leads at Imola. Stephen Williams takes his first Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge victory. Henny was untouchable in the first race at Suzuka.
Danny is not pulling away, he's still within a second at the front, and Hatton is still under massive pressure from car power, coming down towards 130 yards.
But all eyes were on the battle behind as Luca Harrison took his first podium in the series. Luca Harrison is currently slipstreaming his way towards Tim Ellis and actually draws alongside this time towards the chicane. Is he going to be able to outbrake him when he gets there? Can he get it around the outside and take second place? Yes, he can. Meanwhile, here's Danny Henny to take the victory in Suzuka. Hatton trying to sneak up and take the podium, placing it side by side across the line. Can't do it. While the championship protagonists struggled to get through the field on the high-speed circuit. 3 wide into turn 1. Hatton's up on the curb. He's almost lost it. He's gone out wide. What a magnificent save. But he's dropping positions left, right and centre now. Brian Boomsma redeemed himself of a heartbreaking crash while in the lead at Imola with a stunning maiden win. Here comes Brian Boomsma to take his first ever Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge victory. As soon as he took the lead, he did not relinquish it. A masterful drive. David Hatton lost out on any points with connection issues in race 3, opening up the door for fellow title rival Tim Ellis to take a timely first win of the season with a thrilling final gasp manoeuvre. With just a few corners to go and Drillsman up on the curb, but Ellis has made it stick. Fantastic manoeuvre, and Drillsman was forced to submit. And at the absolute final opportunity, Tim Ellis takes the lead of the race and is going to come to take his first victory of the season. All that leaves Henny 12 points clear in the championship standings, with Ellis now ahead of Hatton in second place. Stephen Williams retains his lead in the gold standings, with Lucas Raskovitz now taking the lead of the silver grade. One of my absolute highlights of this season so far, that last lap battle for Tim Ellis to take his first victory of the season. And of course that round, a fantastic highlight for this man, Brian Boomsma, taking his first win in the Formula Renault Challenge as well.
Yeah. I have to say, maybe it's worth commenting a little bit on the various driving styles, because when you mentioned Brian Boomsma, he is absolutely uncompromising. If he thinks there's a gap, if he thinks he's faster, he just makes it your problem. And he's cultivated quite an on-track presence amongst the other drivers, where if they see the orange car and they notice that it's Boomsma, they drive differently now around him.
Plenty of guys who could take pole position today. Danny Henny reckons that there's about 10 people who have the pace to win around here tonight. These little Formula Renault cars, obviously nowhere near as much downforce as some of the top tier single seaters that can fly through some of these corners completely flat out at breakneck speeds. And I'll tell you who's very good at that. It's Kyle Power, and he is the man who's going to guide us around this Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, the third different configuration of the Silverstone circuit that we have used for the Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge. So here's Kyle to tell you more about this track.
Hey, it's Kyle here. Let's jump on board with me for a reasonably hot lap of the mighty Silverstone circuit. We're coming out of the final turn now and onto the start and finish straight. We're going to be in 6th gear and looking for the end of the red barrier on the right hand side for our reference point to turn into Abbey. Slight lift and straight back on the throttle before the apex hit the curb, carry a lot of speed through this. Take a cheeky bit of 7th gear before looking for the final marker board on the left hand side. Brake late and deep and trail brake all the way to the apex, down to 2nd gear, back up to 3rd briefly before back down to 2nd and trying to hook up this apex on the left hand side just like I didn't there. Try to open up the wheel as best you can to minimise the scrub on the front tyres onto the Wellington straight. Not a lot to do here apart from maximise your gear changes. We're going to be in 7th gear before looking for the gap in the final 2 marker boards on the right hand side for our braking point into Brooklands. Trail brake in and take a very late apex on the left hand side there in 3rd gear, brilliant. Down into 2nd gear, wait for the front tyres to connect in Luffield. Now you can straighten the wheel and power through to the exit. Important to try to get the car to rotate into that corner. On to the international start and finish straight now. We're going to be up into 7th gear approaching Copse Corner. We're going to have a waffle thin wisp with the brakes and down to 6th gear, important to carry as much speed as possible. Nibble this curb on the inside and straight back on the power all the way through to the exit. Now we're approaching the fearsome Maggots and Beckett's complex. This is all about carrying apex speed. Flat out left, flat out right, abuse the track limits, hit the brakes, down 2 gears, hit the apex again, down another gear, try to hook more of that apex up there and carry good speed through. Hard on the power all the way onto the hanger straight. Again, not a lot to do here, apart from maximising the gear changes. We're going to be flat out into 7th gear for the blind entry to Stowe. We're looking for the final marker board on the left hand side before we brake, come down 3 gears. Important to get this apex on the right hand side before coming straight back onto the throttle again and approaching the final complex Vale. We're looking for the second marker board. We're going to brake here, down to 2nd gear, try to get this first apex, hit the throttle, blip the throttle to get some weight on the front before hitting the throttle again and opening up the wheel to maximise your exit speed, and that comes around to complete the lap. That is a 1 minute 59.2 second lap. That should put you well inside the top 10, but I would imagine the Hennies and the Hattons of the world will be deep into the 58s come race day.
So, expecting plenty of action ahead in the next 8 laps. Can Tim Ellis roll the dice with Danny Henny? Red lights are up and we're about to go for race 1 at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, and Danny Henny leads the field away. Tim Ellis looks like he didn't get away quite so well. He's tucked into the slipstream immediately, trying to cover off Brian Boomsma in 3rd place. Gregory Leader tucked in behind them. Then it's James Wingfield trying to get up the inside of Stephen Williams, but as they break down into the loop section for the first time, Tim Ellis closes up but unable to mount an attack on Danny Henny. Actually gets boxed in a little bit there and is very much under pressure by Brian Boomsma, who looks like he's got the better exit and is sticking his nose up the inside into entry and almost scared Ellis off the road. They're so close together as they come down the Wellington straight. Ellis crucially has a slipstream from Henny ahead and could try and outbrake him round the outside of Brooklands and into Luffield. Still there side by side. Meanwhile, Stephen Williams behind him trying to make his way up into 4th place ahead of Gregory Leader. And between Boomsma and Ellis, it's still side by side. Ellis not giving up the fight, and neither is Boomsma. Side by side as they come down towards Copse Corner. Ellis has got the high ground. And Boomsma, he's run off the circuit, as has Stephen Williams in their scrap. And Boomsma still so close. He's looking up the inside of Maggots and Beckett's. This could end in tears. And we said that Brian Boomsma has earned himself a little bit of a reputation on the track, and that is exactly why. He will not yield, and he will go for a gap if you present him one. Down the hanger straight for the first time. It's all kicking off behind them. Looks like Gregory Leader and Stephen Williams are side by side as they head down towards Stowe Corner. They're all scrapping over 5th place. Edward Shelley showing his nose in there as well. Kyle Power in the mix. It's Williams around the outside in the red and white colours of going past Gregory Leader in the grey and blue HWA colours. And it's Williams breaking down the inside and into 5th place. So at the end of lap 1, Danny Henny crosses the line to lead the field by 9/10 of a second ahead of Tim Ellis. Brian Boomsma only a couple of tenths behind, tucking into that slipstream as they fly through Abbey for the second time. James Wingfield sticking with them in 4th place. Then Stephen Williams, Gregory Leader, Edward Shelley and Carl Power scrapping over 5th place. David Hatton has only made up 1 place so far in 9th ahead of Andy Flagg. That's your top 10.
Really hard for some of these people to remember as well when you've been running doing hot lap after hot lap that your tyres are really, really cold, and you're seeing people losing it at Luffield, which you won't see once the tyres warm up.
Ellis making a late defensive manoeuvre into Brooklands against Brian Boomsma, who again is making his way around the outside, but actually ends up meeting the tarmac runoff area and has to submit. Ellis himself running a little bit wide on the exit of Luffield. All this scrapping is allowing Danny Henny to get away, and once again it's neck and neck, wheel to wheel as they come towards Copse Corner. And Boomsma once again on the outside. That's not going to stop him this time. Oh, he's flown off the circuit once again, and he's got the high ground. He's into 2nd place. I wonder how Tim Ellis is going to feel about that.
Well, Tim Ellis is quite a calculated driver. He will be doing championship maths in that cockpit.
Boomsma having gained 2nd place, just scampering over the curves a little bit as they went through Chapel, could allow Ellis back through. I'm almost surprised he hasn't been given a slowdown for passing Ellis off the circuit. But Ellis back up the inside now at Stowe Corner, and Boomsma goes very, very wide, allows James Wingfield through. Maybe he has been given the slowdown because he's at a snail's pace at the moment, crawling down the straight. So that's Boomsma down into 8th place at the moment now, just ahead of David Hatton. So Tim Ellis now a little bit more secure in 2nd place, but now could well face the challenge of James Wingfield. Henny's advantage up to 1.3 seconds at the end of lap 2. Setting the fastest lap of the race there he was. Just behind them, looked like a little bit of side-by-side action. Edward Shelley and Carl Power. Look at this scrap going on for 6th place at the moment. So Shelley and Boomsma. Boomsma gets tagged by Hatton, and Hatton is round. So the reigning champion who really needed to score points today has pitched round Brian Boomsma, and it has put himself round in doing so. So he's now down in 13th place. Well, that's a good question. Chat room, tell us whose fault it was. David Hatton now coming under pressure from Alex Van Gien down the inside of Brooklands. If it doesn't rain, it pours. But Hatton looks like, oh no, he's gone off the circuit. I thought for a second he was going to hang on to that place. And might well still do so with the inside line down at Luffield, but things definitely not going Danny Henny's way, David Hatton's way so far tonight.
I'm not far off that battle actually, Chris.
Oh, get in there.
Sneaking up. But it's worth noting the slowdowns. If you exceed the set track limits that iRacing has put for the track, you'll be asked to, say, concede 2 seconds within the next 30 seconds. But the more time you spend not doing it, it increases. So it might say, well, it's 2.1 seconds now.
We've all come a cropper of that at some point. So this battle for 2nd place definitely doesn't look over, as James Wingfield still right up in there. Henny already coming up to a little bit of lap traffic. Looks like that's Gary Thomas, who has probably come through the pits. He has. Gary Thomas sporting some new colours on his car, the polka dots that I don't know if anybody watched Come Outside as a kid, but looks very much like Auntie Mabel's prop plane. Probably a reference that 2 people will understand. But if you are one of those 2 people, I salute you. So, Tim Ellis, looks like he's just been able to gap Wingfield ever so slightly at the start of lap 4. And trying to secure himself into 2nd place. Took a couple of tenths out of Henny so far on this lap. And it's all looking fairly equidistant as they come down that Wellington straight. So we've had the mad chaos at the start, and now just settling into the rhythm. Find out where they are, and then I'm sure we'll see some action kicking off later in the race.
So we were talking about that reverse grid pole. So 20th place will end up on pole. So the top 20 is a big prize. I'm currently sitting in 17th. And I've got Matt Cook, who is faster than me behind me, and Miguel Moreland and John Cox as well. And they are closing in and hounding me down. And I don't know who's behind John Cox, but that battle is going to get tasty for 20th place.
Absolutely. Brian Boomsma on the recovery has just made his way past Andy Flagg around the outside of Cops Corner. He's up into 11th place. And David Hatton now lining up a move on that pink and white number 58 car. Hatton with the much better exit out of Chapel, but out-drag him down the hangar straight. He has done, so that's 12th place for the reigning champion. And actually, Andy Fly's got a bit of front wing damage, it seems, so that's probably why he's slow on that straight. And Alex Van Gien, it's easy pickings for him. Back up at the front of the field, meanwhile, the battle for 4th place has certainly hotted up because Williams and Power are now right on the tail of Gregory Leader. And of course, Leader and Williams are scrapping for the gold driver standings honours in the championship. And Williams sticks his nose up the inside, late braking, potentially a little bit of wheel banging there, but Leader with the high ground as they turn into the left-hander at the loop. And he's able to hold on for now, but Williams is going to get a momentous slipstream coming down the Willington straight, and leader doesn't cover it off, so Williams with the inside line as they come down towards Brooklands, and this could be Stephen Williams' 4th place. Indeed it is. Nothing leader can do to fight that, and Carl Power waiting patiently in the wings to seize his opportunity. So leader looks like he could come back at Williams now with another slipstreaming opportunity round Woodcote, and looking towards the outside of Copse Corner, but Williams again with the high ground. Yeah, it's able to just keep himself ahead for now. The leader looking for every which way past, and that cost him a little bit of momentum, and Carl Power slings it up the inside into Maggotts and Beckett, and that was a very tasty move indeed. So Williams 4th, Carl Power now in 5th place, and yet again another slipstreaming opportunity down the hanger straight towards Stowe Corner. Power not got the momentum he needs at the moment, although he has a think about it down the inside, and actually has scared Williams off the apex and made him slow out of the corner. That could be a way for Carl Power to come through into the Vale chicane. Nope, not on this occasion. Henny, meanwhile, is about to come over the line to complete lap 5. So 3 to go at the end of... 3 to go now, actually. And this battle for 4th place still red hot as they come through. And whoa! And leader runs off the circuit out of Copse Corner. I was about to say Williams took a fair bit of curb and almost unsettled the car, it looked like. But leader went one further and ran off the circuit. Doesn't seem to have cost him too much ground though. Although Edward Shelley could well get involved in this scrap in the closing stages of the race. And Carl shows his nose, but thinks better of it down into Brooklands. Two very different lines between Williams and Power through Luffield. Power keeping it tight. Williams deciding to let the car drift out in the middle of the corner and line up that exit.
Well, that is nice and quiet there, isn't it? Carl Power versus Steve Williams.
It's very tense, isn't it? It can get quite heated on the track at times, and we've certainly seen some amazing scraps from both of these guys so far this season.
Kyle Power incredibly smooth on the controls, and he has a debilitating sense of fairness which holds him back, to be honest.
Maybe that's why he's only had 2 podiums so far in the Formula Renault Challenge. Certainly deserving of a lot more.
So did you say something happened to Andy Flagg earlier? Because even I'm catching it now.
Yeah, he has got a bit of front wing damage. We saw it just as we were watching Brian Boomsma and David Hatton make their way past him.
Oh, poor Andy. Very quick guy in the pink.
Incredibly quick. Very quick. I've gone toe-to-toe with him in the Formula 3 and the Formula Renault, and yeah, just a rapid driver. Was the Division 4 champion in the official Formula Renault, I believe.
Yes, beat me, yes.
They beat me as well. So Carl Power still looking for a way through on Stephen Williams. 2 laps to go. And running it very deep, breaking into Village. But no way through. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, Danny Henny has 1.8 seconds over Ellis, who in turn has 1.5 seconds over James Wingfield. So that podium looks pretty much set with a lap and a half to go. So all eyes on this battle for 4th place, involving some of the top gold drivers that we have this season. Although I'm sure some of these guys are in for a promotion at the end of the season.
Oh, breaking news, Stephen Williams has been promoted in the field because we got annoyed with how fast he was, so he's
really
on to platinum now, yeah.
Ah, okay.
And that's how we're doing it. It's not a democracy, it's just whatever race control says.
Boomsma and Hatton, meanwhile, have not really made any progress. They're still there in 11th and 12th, tucked up behind, of all people, Matt Trumpets.
Do a commentator's curse on Matt Trumpets, please.
Oh, well, Matt Trumpet, isn't he driving sublimely at the moment, repelling the advances of 2 fantastic drivers in this field? Hasn't worked yet.
Our own Matt Trumpets, by the way, he's worked really, really hard on his pace. He is genuinely faster than me, overtaken me, and is a threat to the top guys now. He will be soon anyway.
Could be a different story in the Formula 3. Was not having a good time of it at Laguna Seca this week. Meanwhile, just back in this battle for 4th place, Kyle was just dropping a little bit of ground on Stephen Williams, but then Williams in turn just ran a little bit deep into that Vale chicane, and that's put Power back on his tail. So 1 lap to go. Henny's advantage now 2.1 seconds. So he is on course to take his 9th victory and his 4th of the season. But we're watching this battle for 4th place, and Kyle looking for every which way past in that camo Red Bull car. And is that leader who's just gone for a little bit of a spin on the exit of the loop? Indeed it is. So that's cost him any shot of a good result in this battle. And looks like side by side, very nearly coming into Brooklands. Power trying to make his way around the outside, but Williams wise to that move. That's promoted Edward Shelley, by the way, to 6th place. Ishmael Basso into 7th behind them. Gregory Leader has emerged in 10th place after that little spin. So, Kyle Power running out of opportunities to take 4th place away from Stephen Williams. Both of these drivers performing absolutely remarkably so far in what has been a great scrap to watch, and absolutely nose to tail as they fling through Maggots and Beckett's. Only 2 opportunities left for Kyle, you would think, and he's lining him up, trying to take the wide line in and improve his exit as they come down to the hanger straight for the final time. Tucked right up in that slipstream. All Williams has to do is kind of break neatly up the inside, but he hasn't covered off Kyle's move, who's got the inside line for Stowe Corner, and is going to put himself up into 4th place. Williams tries to brave it out around the outside. Power could well run him off the circuit. No, very fair driving from the pair of them, and that gives Williams the inside line back for this Vale chicane. Meanwhile, Danny Henny takes the checkered flag ahead of Ellis and Wingfield, but Williams at the final corner drops it. Side by side with Kyle Power it was, but it is Power who comes out on top in 4th place, and Edward Shelley, he takes 5th place after that. And Stephen Williams, did he manage to get across the line in 6th? I think he did.
That's the Stephen Williams we love.
Wow, that was fantastic clean racing right up until that final corner it was there. So Ishmael Basso over the line in 7th place, then John Lang. Matt Trumpets, really great race, 9th place for him. Gregory Leader in 10th. And then David Hatton only got 11th place in the end. I think Brian Boomsma may have had another incident down in there somewhere, because at the moment he's all the way down in 22nd place.
I finished 1 place behind Alex Van Gien. Also mentioned Alex Van Gien, very fast go-karter in the session as well.
Yeah, 13th for him and 14th for you, Spanners. But going on reverse grid pole will be John Cox after securing 20th place. And, I think some of these guys, we look not quite so good because we're in amongst people who are as quick as aliens. John Cox, very, very fast.
When we go into the official sessions with the Formula Renault 2.0, pretty much all the top 25 here looks decent in the top few splits of the official championships. But here, I feel like a complete, to qualify 30th is fine. To creep up to 14th is basically a win for me today.
So just going through the grid for race 2, we can have some very quick guys up in there. John Cox, Jack Weddle will be on the front row, then Matt Cook, Richard Molden, one of the admins for this series, he'll start on the 2nd row, and Andy Flagg, very, very quick driver, starting in 5th place for this one.
Yeah, he could win from there.
You'll be lining up 7th. So
my job is to not hit Andy Flagg.
Yeah, absolutely. So very much a contender then is Andy Flagg for the race 2 win. Certainly a podium, but we'll have to see how the top guys get through the order. Of course, David Hatton, after a bit of an underwhelming feature race, will start 9th on the grid with his 11th place finish.